Thank you, Matt. Last week had an emotional overtime win against Louisiana Monroe, then turned around early the next morning and flew to Boone or to Charlotte, and then bust over to Boone through the mountain. And we're a little bit tired going in that game, but we were able to hang in. We played a good first half, especially on the offensive end. Then second half we had some breakdowns defensively, but we were able to overcome that and win a game on the road that was a good win for us, considering the circumstances. App State had been very successful at home. They've beaten several teams at home, and they're a tough basketball team to defend. Had the weekend off. Coaches were able to get out and do some recruiting. Players got some needed rest. We've been back in the gym, had 2 good practices on Monday and Tuesday. Look forward to another good practice this afternoon in preparation for Arkansas State. On Thursday, Arkansas State coming off a tough loss to Troy at home, a game that they had under control and let go at the very end. The game in Jonesboro, we played those guys earlier this season, was a close game that we outplayed them the majority of the game. We led the entire second half. They took their first lead of the second half with 7.6 seconds to go off a missed free throw. They got the rebound and were able to convert a 3-point play. We got a good look at the buzzer. Sean Long misses a shot that would have won the game. And it was a disappointing ride home afterwards, but we've played well since. We had beaten them 5 times in a row going into that game. We expect a really good game out of those guys tomorrow. They're a game behind us in the standings, and we look forward to going out and competing against them tomorrow night. Little Rock will be in on Saturday. 4:15 tip. The 2 hottest teams in the conference right now. We won 8 in a row, which I understand is 6th longest streak in the nation. Those guys are right behind us. They've won 6 in a row, and they're playing really good basketball. So we'll see what this week at home holds for us. We've been very good at home. I think we're 35-5 in our last 40 home games at the Cajun Dome, and off to the best start in 13 years in the Cajun Dome, and have a chance to do something special if we can continue to take it one game at a time.
Every week is important, every game is important, but this one in particular, you're facing a team ahead of you in the standings, team behind you in the standings. Those guys are on 4-game road swings to starting this week to go out and have a successful week. What would that do, kind of setting you guys up?
Well, it's important because we're going back on the road after this too, Luke. We'll be in that same scenario that we were in earlier in the season, and we need to defend our home court. We've been good at home. Our crowd really helped us win the last game when things weren't going well in the second half against Monroe. They got us back in the game. Those guys encouraged Casey Shepard and Hayward Register, and certainly inspired Sean Long when he got back in the game to help will us to victory against Monroe. So we need our crowd. We need to play well at home to keep ourselves in position going into the last month of the season.
Kind of mentioned that weird travel arrangement with playing overtime and then going up to Boone. Did the kind of extended break kind of come at a good time, or is it to where you've won 8 games in a row, you don't necessarily want a 5-6 day layoff for you guys?
Well, we needed a break. It came at a good time for us because of the travel was it took us 12 hours. We left at 6:30 from the Cajun Dome, bus to Baton Rouge, fly to Atlanta, delay, fly to Charlotte, bus over the mountain. Time we check in the hotel at 6:30 Eastern time in Boone, and then we have a short practice. So then at an early morning, the next morning, 6 o'clock wake-up call, and departed at 7, headed for Charlotte to fly back to Atlanta, to fly to Baton Rouge, to bus home. So we didn't get back till Friday afternoon late, and it's important that we got some rest this weekend. I think it couldn't have come at a better time. Certainly the Mardi Gras break can be a distraction for our team. We have guys that have trouble getting to the Cajun Dome for practice with the traffic and the parades that are going on. But we needed that break, so hopefully it will serve us well going into this weekend.
Any comparisons or contrasts that you feel to when you had that winning streak in your first season?
certainly there's a buzz in the air around the city. You can, in the parish and Acadiana, you can feel the excitement in the air. Certainly Mardi Gras, a lot of good things are going on. About to start baseball and softball seasons. Football wrapped up their recruiting. So there's a lot of excitement going for us right now. Sean Long being a guy that will have his jersey retired at some point in time here. It's done a fantastic job. And one of the best players in our school's history. Is playing extremely well, so that's exciting also. And the fact that we're winning and the crowds are coming back, hopefully that'll continue, Tim. We'll see. That last winning streak was 11, which was tied a 38-year-old streak set by Coach Shipley in 1973 with one of his really good teams. And it's going to get harder each and every game, as we know, going deep into it. So, but there is a little bit of similarity, yes. If you go a month in conference play and don't lose a game, and I've been fortunate to do that several times, that's pretty impressive. January to February, March. If you're able to do that, then that's got to be exciting for your fan base and for your team.
Have you noticed a difference in attitude since the players, since the winning has started, or have they just been even keel throughout?
They've been pretty even keel, but they've got a little pep in their step. I think certainly winning makes coming to work a little bit easier for us and hopefully for you guys too. Fun to coach a team that is excited and got their priorities in order and finally learned how to win and fight through some games.
Are there certain players or certain areas fundamentally where you've improved since last time playing Arkansas State?
We're certainly shooting the ball better. You know, we're still last in the league after finishing first in three-point percentage a year ago, but we're making more shots. I feel like we're better defensively also, and we're playing with more confidence.
Who gets the assignment on Carter tomorrow, and what's made him so good, especially lately? He's averaging almost 20 in conference.
Yeah, he's really shooting the ball well. He's shooting 44% in conference play. He's made a bunch of three-point shots. Luke, a very good player, a lefty that can really score the basketball. And we'll mix it up on him. Jay Wright will get an opportunity at him, Jonathan Stove.
Does his length make him a little bit different to guard? You know, I think he's like 6'5", so you know, Jay gives up a couple inches on him. Is that?
It can be a problem. You know, it can go either way. When you've got a smaller guy guarding a bigger guy, it could work in our favor. Certainly Jay's got great quickness and strength for a small guard. He's very tough. I don't know that he's 6'5". He may only be 6'3.5", 6'4", but he definitely has a size advantage. Comparable to Kevin Ware, who Jay guarded Kevin Ware when we played Georgia State as well. So we'll have to keep a look on that. Thank goodness we've got a guy with some length over there that can guard in Jay Hedgeman.
Do you want them to have what happened up there in the back of their mind, or do you not want them to play backward?
Well, they remember, Tim. I mean, you know, you were there, and it was a tough loss. I mean, we should have won that game. We had outplayed them, and that's why I was positive and felt good going in the next week before the Georgia trip. So they remember, and I think it really has helped Bryce. You know, he felt like he should have got that last rebound. He had an opportunity to get it when it went long, and Sean was pushed underneath the goal. But I think it's inspired them, and so I think going back and reflecting on that game can only help us at this stage.
You've got like 4 guys averaging about 32 minutes or more. Not much minutes being shared after that. So, can you guys use that to your advantage, or is that?
We'll certainly try to use our depth to our advantage. They have, 4 guys averaging 30-plus, similar to Monroe. And you guys were at the Monroe game. I felt like they were tired late in the game and in overtime, and they missed shots they'd been making most of the game. So especially Ding, Capola, those guys, Robertson, they missed shots that they'd been making earlier. We, on the other hand, have no one averaging 30 minutes a game, I don't believe. So hopefully the depth will come into play. These games are very demanding at this stage of the season in conference, going down the stretch, and it takes a lot out of you mentally and physically.
How much, go toward Little Rock, how much of what they're doing defensively do you think has been
They're guarding well. I think it's a big part, Tim. They're really defending. Chris is an excellent coach. He inherited some good players from Steve. You know, Isom's leading the league in three-point field goal percentage. Hagens is having a fantastic senior season. Roger Woods, Kimi Ase is shooting the ball well. So the guys that were left are doing well. And then Marcus Johnson and Shoshi, a couple of guys he brought in, have played really well too. But they're grinding on the offensive end, and they're really guarding on the defensive end. And they take good care of the basketball too, and they're one of the leading three-point shooting teams in our league.
Very good.
Okay, thank you.